Hello, good morning. Today we will start with the next article from the radar systems. In the last period, we have just studied the microwave definition of microwave, applications of microwaves, then basic principle of radar and the basic pulse radar system. So next will be the radar equation. We have to just derive the radar range equation or radar equation. So this is the important from the examination point of view. So now, before just deriving that equation directly, we should know some terms and their meaning. So here we are taking the some constants and some terms here. The small d is the distance of the target. Then S is the area of cross section of the target. Then Pt, that is T is the suffix peak value of transmitted power. Then PR is the peak value of received echo power. Echo means the waves which are reflected back. So they are known as the received echo power. GT is the power gain of transmitting antenna in relation to that of the isotropic radiator. Then GR is the power gain of receiver antenna in relation to that of an isotropic radiator. Capital A is the capture area of receiver antenna, and A0 or AO is the aperture area of receiver antenna. So these are the terms we are using, that is for deriving the equation of radar range equation. Here is the small k. Small k is the ratio, that is A upon A0. That is the ratio of capture area of receiver antenna to the aperture area of receiver antenna. So that will be given as 0.65 for parabolic reflector and 0.90 for the matrix antenna. Now the power transmitted in the direction of the target, that is when the electromagnetic waves are transmitted from the transmitting antenna in the atmosphere in the direction of target. So that power transmitted in the direction of the target is equal to P2 into GT. Now the power which is transmitted in the direction of the target is equal to PT into GT, where since GT is the direct to gain and we use highly direct to antennas. Now the total energy is spread around in a sphere. Whatever the waves we are sending in the space, so the whole of this energy is spread around in a sphere of radius d, that is distance of the target from the transmitter. So area of the surface of the sphere, so that will be equal to 4 pi d square. From that we can find out the power density transmitted. So that will be Pt into Gt divided by 4 pi d square. This is the power density transmitted. So इनिशियली सुरुवातीला आपण पॉवर ट्रान्समिटेड काढली, आपण त्याच्यानंतर आपण एरिया ऑफ द सर्फेस ऑफ द स्पियर काढलं, आणि फ्रॉम दॅट वी कॅन फाइंड आउट द पॉवर डेन्सिटी ट्रान्समिटेड, दॅट इज PT GT divided by 4 pi d square. Now since capital S is the target area, hence the power at the target, so that is equal to PT GT into S divided by 4 pi d square. So after striking the target, the energy is scattered in different directions. That means when the waves are strike on the target, that energy or that waves is scattered in the different direction, and the result of portion of this scattered energy goes towards receiving antenna as well. ज्यावेळेस ही जी एनर्जी स्ट्राईक होते टार्गेटवरती, सो दिस एनर्जी विल बी स्कॅटर्ड इन डिफरंट डायरेक्शन, वेगवेगळ्या ठिकाणी पसरते ती, and as a result of portion of this scattered energy goes towards receiving antenna as well, and the part of that energy will be goes in the direction of receiving antenna. Now if we suppose the total power contained in a wavefront section having areas radiated by an isotropic radiator located at the target, strength of the wave thereby reaching the receiving antenna would be the same as the strength of the total strength of the actual echo produced by target. So therefore, the echo power per unit area of wavefront at the radar receiver is accordingly given as that will be given as PT GTS divided by 4 pi d square into 1 upon 4 pi d square. So this is the echo power per unit area of a wavefront at the radar receiver. Then total received power. So that is PR equal to PT GTS divided by 4 pi d square the square of the total bracket square PT GT into S divided by 4 pi d square bracket square into capital A. Capture area A is related to GR as GR equal to 4 pi A upon lambda square. So that is equal to 4 pi K A0 divided by lambda square, where lambda is the wavelength when same antenna is being used for the transmission as well as reception of energy. As in the present case, we have GT equal to GR. So G2 equal to GR. So we can write the equation A equal to A equal to lambda square GR divided by 4 pi, or lambda square equal to GT by 4 pi, because we have just taken GR equal to GT. We have just taken GT equal to GR. So we can write down A equal to lambda square GT by 4 pi. Actually the equation is lambda square GR by 4 pi, so we are writing GR instead of GT. So that is lambda square GT divided by 4 pi. So we get the PR equal to PTS lambda square GT square divided by 64 pi cube D4, or we can just write PTS A0 square K square divided by 4 pi D4 lambda square. If PR minimum is the minimum power received by the receiver antenna, then the maximum distance of the target detectable by the radar D max is given by. So this is the D max will be equal to PT S A 0 square K square divided by 4 pi lambda square PR minimum is to the 1 power 1/4. So this equation is used to explain the various factors on which the radar range, that is D maximum, depends. So we can clearly see that D maximum is directly proportional to the PT to the power 1/4. It is also proportional to the square root of A0 and also proportional to the S to the power 1/4. Also D max is inversely proportional to 1 by root lambda and 1 upon PR minimum to the power 1/4. So this is the radar range derived radar range equation. So using that equation, we can just find out the maximum distance of the target detailed by the radar D max. Because if we have just taken the PR minimum is the minimum power received by the receiver antenna. The PR minimum is the minimum power असेल antenna receive केलेली. त्याच्यावरून आपण maximum distance of the target detectable by the radar, म्हणजे जे maximum distance आहे of the target detectable by the radar, so D max will be given by this equation. So this equation can be used for the calculating that distance. Okay. So next will be the moving target indicator. Now we can see the what is the meaning of moving target indicator. So moving target indicator it uses the Doppler effect. So before that we have to study what is Doppler effect. The Doppler effect is responsible for the change in the pitch of whistle from a passing train and is as well as making a moving target indicator radar. So The relation at the radar between the phase of the transmitted pulse and the phase of resulting echo from a fixed target is same for the successive pulses. Now, it is not possible for an observer to distinguish a moving target in the presence of permanent echoes of comparable appearance on the radar representation or radar indicator. म्हणजे जो ऑब्झर्वर असतो त्याला इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर अन ऑब्झर्वर डिस्टिंग्विश बिटवीन मुव्हिंग टार्गेट इन द प्रेझेन्स ऑफ परमनंट इकोज ऑफ द comparable appearance on the radar representation. So another difficult situation arises if the moving target has a range and bearing such that echo from the moving target gets superimposed on the ground clutter. This situation is particularly troublesome in mountainous regions and in the near vicinity of cities. The moving target indicator radar depends on Doppler principle for its basic operation. So, the echoes which are received from the moving target and the stationary target, so it is not possible for an observer to distinguish between them. जे इको रिसिव्हर अँटेना जे इकोज रिसिव्ह होतात त्या इकोजमध्ये जे टार्गेट मुव्हिंग टार्गेट आहेत आणि जे स्टेशनरी आहेत त्या दोन्हीमध्ये डिस्टिंग्विश करणं इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर अन ऑब्झर्वर. So using the Doppler principle, it is possible to distinguish between the receivers which are coming from the moving target and signals which are coming from the moving target and signals which are coming from the stationary object or stationary target. म्हणजे डॉपलरचं प्रिन्सिपल वापरून आपल्याला दोन्ही जे मुव्हिंग टार्गेटकडून येणारे सिग्नल आणि स्टेशनरी टार्गेटकडून येणारे सिग्नल दोन्हीमध्ये डिफरन्शिएट करता येतं आपल्याला. And which target is moving and which is not moving, so that we can confirm. Okay, so in the next period we can study the block diagram of the moving target indicator and the working of the each block. Okay, thank you.